Friends, this is a unique attempt from my side. I'm taking this live PMP mock exam. This PMP mock exam is an imitation of the actual exam itself. The questions in the actual exam may be different, but it will be somewhat similar. The duration is 230 minutes, excluding 2 breaks of 10 minutes each, making it a total of 250 minutes. That is 3 hours, 50 minutes of exam time plus 10 minutes of break. The first break we will take after completing the initial 60 questions. We'll pause for 10 minutes, relax, and continue with the next 60 questions. The second break we will take after answering another 60 questions. By now, we should have answered 120 questions. We'll take another short break for 10 minutes and aim to complete the remaining 60 after the break. I will review the first 10 questions while answering in each set of 60 questions. Due to short of time in live session, it will be difficult to review all the answers. So let's start the PMP live mock exam. Okay, here is the first question. A project manager has just taken over an agile project that is about 50% complete. The project manager is currently reviewing the product backlog and notices the requirements are not in an order he understands. How is the product backlog prioritized? We have 4 options to go with: by value, by schedule, by regulation, and by cost. Here, the correct answer is by value. The reason being, the product backlog in Agile is typically prioritized by value, meaning the items with the highest business value are placed at the top. Let's check. Let's move on to the next question. The project manager is working on a project for which the scope, time, and cost are known during the early parts of the project planning. What life cycle will the project manager consider on this project? We have 4 options to go with: straightforward life cycle, predictive life cycle, PMBOK life cycle, and iterative life cycle. The correct answer is predictive life cycle. Reason being, in predictive life cycle, we also call this as a waterfall approach. Here, the scope, time, and cost are known very well in the earliest part of a project planning phase. So the next question is, the product owner has added 3 new changes to the product backlog. The Agile project manager has met with the team and they have decided immediately how to implement these new changes. Although these changes will be implemented in 3 iterations from now. The product owner informs the Agile project manager that he is not happy about this. What should the Agile project manager do? We have 4 options to go with. Ask the team members to implement the change right away. No. Ask the product manager, the product owner, when he would like the changes to be implemented. Yes, this should be the correct one. I won't even look into the other options. The reason being, in Agile, the product owner plays a crucial role in prioritizing and deciding when the features or changes should be implemented. Hence, the correct answer is ask the product owner when he would like the changes to be implemented. We'll move on to the next one. A company has completed building a new data center. The project has many changes that were submitted to the change control board. Most changes were approved and some were not. Which of the following is not a purpose of the change control board? We have 4 options to go with: stop unnecessary changes, assess changes, deny changes whenever possible, and manage the changes control process. Here, the correct answer is deny changes whenever possible. Why? Because there is 3 options: stop unnecessary changes, assess changes, and manage the changes control process, or the actual job of change control board. Hence, the correct answer is deny changes whenever possible. This is not a part of change control board. The project team is currently working on an advertising project. They have completed a few of the activities, which includes writing the script for the commercial. Once the team completes an activity, what should they do next? We have 4 options to go with: close project or phase, update project sponsor, update work performance data, update project manager. The correct answer is update work performance data. The reason being, after completing an activity, the project team should update work performance data. This is the correct choice. This involves recording the actual progress, effort, and any relevant information related to the completed activity. Hence, the correct answer is update work performance data. While conducting a risk assessment on a project, the project manager has identified a new regulatory risk. If the project is not completed by July 31st, the company will have to scrap the project. What best describes this? We have 4 options to go with: project scope, project work, project constraint, project requirement. Here, the correct answer is project constraint. This particular scenario falls under the category of project constraints. What does project constraint says? It is a factor that limits the project team's options and influence project management's decision. Hence, the correct answer is project constraint. After a project manager is assigned to the project with the project charter, he continues to identify the stakeholders on the project. In this process, he creates the stakeholder register. Which of the following statement is false about the stakeholder register? We have 4 options to go with. It's updated throughout the project. Yes, this statement is correct. It contains a list of all stakeholders on the project. Yes, this statement is also correct. It classifies the stakeholders. Yes, of course, this is also correct. It's only updated in the initial phase of the project. No, this answer is wrong. This is a false statement. Hence, for this question, the correct answer is it's only updated in the initial phase of the project. This is a wrong statement. The project manager and team are currently working to create a list of activities needed to complete the project. They have come to one particular work package that they cannot decompose because they do not know enough about the work yet. They have decided that midway through the project, they will decompose this particular work package. What tool or technique they are using? We have 4 options to go with: forward planning, no; rolling wave plan, yes, this should be the one; requirements, future planning, and decomposition. No, the option should be, the correct option is rolling wave plan. This is a particular technique where planning is performed in phases and details are planned as the project progresses, as and when more information is available. Hence, the correct answer is rolling wave planning. While developing a new smartphone, a project team has identified a specific set of performance measurements that the phone should meet when it is complete. The measurement looks at how fast the phone can boot up and how fast it can shut down. Where should the project team document these measurements? We have 4 options to go with: requirements, traceability metrics, no; quality metrics, yes, probably; quality checklist, no; quality management plan, no. The correct answer is quality metrics. Why this answer is correct? Quality metrics are usually used to measure specific attributes of the project deliverables. In this scenario, performance measurement for the smartphone are quality metrics that reflect the desired performance and characteristics, how fast it should boot up and how fast it should shut down, these metrics. Hence, the correct answer is quality metrics. The Agile project team has decided to do one of the features from the product backlog. The single feature will take 6 weeks to complete and will be reviewed by the customer. What actions should the Agile project manager take next? We have 4 options to go with. Inform the team they need to conduct the daily startup meetings. No. Arrange the workspace for the team members to get started. Yes, this should be the correct one. Inform the customers of the 6 weeks duration. No. And the last option, inform the team 6 weeks is too long. No. The correct answer is arrange the workspace for the team members to get started. Actually, after the Agile project team has decided to work on a specific feature of the product backlog, the very next step is to arrange workspace for the team members to get started on the project. Hence, the correct answer is arrange the workspace for the team members to get started. Okay, for the next 50 questions, I will not review the answer. I will read out the question and select the best answer. While conducting procurement on a project, the project manager has received many different bids with a wide variance of estimated cost for the work. What can the project manager use to best determine which vendor has given a realistic price? The correct answer should be independent estimate. The data center redesign project has been executed and is currently 50% complete. One of the project's key stakeholders has submitted a change request to change the building's wiring from copper cables to fiber cables. The project manager has contacted a wiring contractor who said it will take about 2 months to install the fiber at a cost of 2 million. What should the project manager do next? In this scenario, the correct answer is submit the change to change control board. A project manager wants to ensure that the new cell phone the project is creating while beat or match the performance of new cell projects by other companies. What tool would be the best for the project? Benchmark meetings, plan quality management, collect requirements. Benchmark is the correct answer. The project manager is currently working on a large building renovation project. The project team is almost done with the planning, and the project sponsor informs the project manager that due to new regulations, the project will need to be completed within 6 months. If not, they will not be able to open the building to the public. What best represents this? Deliverables, assumptions, constraints, work packages. Correct answer is constraints. The project manager has been informed that the company's senior management would like a meeting about the status of the project. What should the project manager take to display the current schedule of the project? Network diagram, milestone chart, Gantt chart, work breakdown structure, WBS. The correct answer is Gantt chart. The next question is, while working on the web design project, the change control board approved a change to the layout of the menu. What process should the project manager conduct next to ensure the change is implemented? We have 4 options to go with: update change log, update project management plan, view scope. The correct answer should be direct and manage the project work. Here comes the next question. What activity can the Agile team do to list the reasons for why a particular process was failing during iteration? The options are fishbone analysis, short subjects, SMART goals, check-in analysis. Here, the correct answer should be check-in analysis. I'll go with this. The project manager and the project team are currently assessing various ways of responding to a particular risk. The project involves reconstructing part of their current office building, and they are worried about a hurricane hitting and damaging the materials or parts of the unfinished building. The best response they came up with was to purchase insurance in case a hurricane does hit. What kind of strategy is this? The options are avoidance, acceptance, transfer, and mitigate. The correct answer should be transfer. I'll go with this. Okay, the next one is, when deciding what user stories should get done in the next iteration, what should the project team consider? We have 4 options to go with. How large is the story? Which story has the least risks? How much points the team completed in the past iterations? Which customer want to the story? This is a tricky question. All the answers are very close. However, I choose to go with which customer wants to the story. Let's check for the answer at the end. Okay, here comes the next one. While working on an agile project, the project manager has met the project team members to discuss what they had done the day before and what they plan to do today. What is the name of this meeting? Project review meeting, sprint planning meeting, daily stand-up meeting, sprint review meeting. The correct answer should be daily stand-up meeting. While planning a major network upgrade project, one stakeholder has given a requirement to upgrade the switches. The project manager has determined that this would be too costly to be included in the project and has decided to exclude it. What process will the project manager use to document this exclusion? The answer should be define scope. The next question is, the project manager has decided that most of the stakeholders on the project would like to reference the status report for the project on the company's internal website on their own time. This would make it easier for them, as it is very difficult to schedule a meeting with all of them at once. What type of communication best describes this? Okay, the correct answer is full communication. The next one is, over the last 3 weeks, the project team has finally been able to establish a shared vision of what the product would look like when it is completed. This is an example of progressive management, progressive elaboration, requirements gathering, shared vision. The correct answer should be shared vision. So the next one is, while building an agile space, the project manager would like to implement a tool that will allow the team to keep track of the flow of work while limiting the work in progress. What tool best meets the requirements? The correct answer should be Kanban development. Which of the following statements is true about projects? The answer should be, projects are temporary endeavors to create a unique product, service, or results. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Which of the following is a method that will be used to conduct frequent verification and validation that can be done every second on the project? The correct answer should be unit testing. The project manager has released the project team, completed the final lessons learned, and then completed the final report. The PMO has informed the project manager that it is not happy with this approach. What has the project manager done wrong? releasing the team and then doing the lessons learned. Yes, this should be the correct one. While monitoring the status report of an agile project, what numerical analysis can the project team use to help determine if the project is on schedule? It should be earned value management. The project manager has been informed that the cost of building a new room in the office will be $15,000 plus or minus 65%. The project manager wants to know why there is such a large variance in the estimate. The builder said they have not seen the space and it's just a high level estimate. What kind of estimate does this best represent? A rough order of magnitude estimate. This should be the one. While managing the stakeholders' engagement, the project manager notices that some of the team members are not respectful to other team members. This has led to a few conflicts between the members. What can the project manager best do about this? So implement ground rules. This should be the correct option. After many years of following the agile principles, the project team has implemented a few new methods in addition to the agile methods in order to increase the efficiency of the project. This will be known as hybrid process. The project manager has taken all the work performance information that has been created so far on the project. He has started to create the overall project status report to present to the project stakeholders. What process is the project manager conducting? It is monitor and control project work. The project manager has noticed that few team members are having a difficult time following the process to inspect the quality of new software. What is the best tool to help them see the process, making it easier to follow? It should be flowchart. While working on a project, the CEO of the company has informed you that he would like to terminate the project and have you work on a few other projects. What kind of influence does this best represent? Upwards. This is the correct answer. During the data center development project, the project manager has noticed that some of the work being done on the project is not in the business line scope. The project manager has analyzed the work completed by the project team and then compared that to the project management plan to see where the differences are. What process best describes the work of the project manager? Monitor scope, no. Manage scope, no. Validate scope, no. It is control scope. You are currently working on a large new building development project. The project team is currently breaking down the deliverables listed in the project scope statement into work that is more manageable. What process best describes this scenario? It is a create WBS. Work breakdown structure. You are having an issue with the software crashing consistently on the project. What should you use to identify the cause of this issue and effect it may have on your project? Continuous improvement, histogram, Ishikawa diagram, flowchart. It is the Ishikawa diagram. The project manager has acquired the project team members and is starting to work with them to complete the project work. During this process, the project manager has utilized a variety of rewards and recognition theories to keep the team motivated. What is the output of this process? The team performance assessments is the correct answer. While installing the new virtual server, the team discovers a new method that they can use on this project and future projects that can get the installation done in about half the time. This new method involves preparing the server image and cloning the machines. What is the best project document for the team to update? It is lessons learned register. The project team has completed a major deliverable on the game development project. The deliverable was given to the project manager. What action should the project manager take next? Close the project, ask the team to review the deliverables. No. Check the deliverable of quality requirements. Yes, this is the correct one. Check the deliverable for quality requirements. While constructing a new office space, the sponsor has requested the project manager complete the project sooner. While analyzing the work, the project manager has noticed that some of the work can start before the predecessor work is done. What can the project manager do in this scenario to complete the project sooner? Add lead times between the project activities. This is the correct answer. Here comes the next question, a big one. The project has been just initiated and the project sponsor calls the project manager and asks approximately when he thinks the project will be completed. The project manager replies that they have been unable to thoroughly analyze the work needed to complete the project and that is not very knowledgeable about this kind of work. The sponsor insists on receiving a high-level estimate. The project manager responds that it will take approximately 3 months to complete the work based on his experience working on a project very similar to this one. What technique best represents this estimate? Analogous estimate, no. Parametric estimate, no. Bottom-up estimates, expert judgment. The question as well as the answers are a little tricky. It should be between analogous and expert judgment. I'll go with expert judgment. Which of the following is not a principle of agile planning? Options are engage the project team. Yes, it is a part of agile planning. Conduct planning throughout the project. Yes, correct. Engage stakeholders. Yes, this is also part of agile planning. Conduct most of the planning at the beginning. No, this is not a part of agile planning. This is not the principle of agile planning. While working on a project, you realize that you will not be able to install the server and the workstations at the same time. In fact, the team has alerted you that after the server installation is done, you should wait an additional 4 days before installing the workstations. This is due to the updates the server will need, which is an automated process. What do you need to add the schedule in order to account for this delay? Lead, lag, slack, float. The correct answer is slack. The project manager, Mary, was informed by the team that the constant conflict in the project have slowed down the team so that they are now behind in the work. Mary is not sure what she did wrong while planning the project. She used a receipt chart to assign roles to each team member. She has assigned each activity to at least 2 people who will be held accountable for the work. What best explains the conflicts in the project? The correct answer is the team misread the receipt chart. The project team is currently having disagreements about the program and the methods they would use to implement a few of the features in the product backlog. What role should the agile project manager be doing during this scenario? Coach them to a resolution. This should be the correct one. The project manager and team have decided to hire a contractor to complete the installation of the servers for the systems upgrade project. The teams of agreement have the contractor being paid on a monthly basis until the work is done. What process will the contractor payments be made in? Should be conduct procurement. Agile project conduct planning at multiple points in time as the scope is refined and changed over the project life cycle. This is known as progressive planning, agile planning, elaborate planning. A rolling wave planning is the correct answer. The project team has completed the server deployment project. They have tested the server to ensure that it works according to the requirements given to them, and it seems to be functioning correctly. What process group has the team just completed? It is executing. After the iteration has completed, where will the team inspect the methods they use to build that increments? Iteration planning, retrospective, yes, this is the correct one. Iteration backlog, iteration review. Retrospective is the correct answer. While working on a complex web design project, the manager has received a change request from a senior stakeholder to fix a problem with the current intranet server. The project manager has determined that this change is outside the scope of the project and is not covered by the work listed in the project charter. What should the project manager do next? Ignore the change request? No. Inform the stakeholder that the change will incur a significant cost and time increase? No. Inform the stakeholder that this change request should be considered a new project? No. Pass the change to the change control board. This should be the appropriate one. It is them who should take the decision. The project manager and the project team are reviewing the completed deliverables to see if they meet the performance requirements outlined in the requirements documentation. This is done so that when the customers are invited to inspect the deliverables, there will be no issues. What is the best output of this process? It is verified deliverables. The project manager is currently analyzing the requirements for the project. He has noticed that the stakeholders will be very disappointed if there are defects in the deliverables. He decides to ensure that the project team receives the right training and the best equipment available to build the deliverables correctly. This will, in turn, increase the overall cost of the project, but stakeholders do not mind the increase in cost. What best describes this increase in cost? Answer should be cost of quality. The project manager is currently reviewing all of the meetings that took place over the past few weeks to ensure that it was done according to the communication management plan. What process is the project manager currently conducting? Here, the correct answer should be monitor communications. Project manager Mort is working to create the project scope statement for a sales management software. Many stakeholders have requested that a feature to be added to enable automated callbacks to leads that come through the website. Mart realizes this feature would not be possible due to the fact that the company's current network lacks the required hardware. What is the best approach for Mark to take? The correct answer should be tell the stakeholders to submit a change request. The project team is having a very difficult time deciding what method they should be using when programming the new functions in the application. They can choose between 4 different methods, and the team is evenly split regarding which method to choose. The project manager has decided that he He will choose the method for them and will take the responsibility in case it is not the best way to program functions. What best describes this technique? Multi-criterion decision, autocratic, voting, leadership. It should be autocratic. He is unanimously taking the decision. The project manager, Mark, overheard that the project team is not satisfied with the way the budget was created. They strongly believe the project will be over budget at the end. What is the next best step for Mark? The correct answer should be bring the team together and attempt to understand why they feel this way. The project manager has just spoken to one of the software developers, Bill, about the project and has asked for an estimate of how long it will take to code a specific function. Bill said that it would take a maximum of 10 days, but that most likely it will be 6 days. The project manager has calculated the estimated duration of this activity to be 6 days. What is the least amount of days it will take to complete this activity? The correct answer should be, I guess, it should be 3. We need to use the formula here to calculate. I'll go with 3. The next and the last question for this session is, senior management in the organization would like your project to have as few risks as possible. Which of the following contracts best meet their criteria? We have 4 options to go with: the cost reimbursable, time and material, fixed price, cost plus fixed price, fixed fee. It should be fixed price. The correct answer is fixed price. All right, team, let's stop the test here. We'll take a break and come back to answer the remaining questions. In the real-time scenario, break time will pop up for 10 minutes and the time will be ticking the similar way. Once you complete that 10 minutes break, we can start attempting the remaining 120 questions.